Have you ever had a biryani that was so good you just couldn't forget it, and then wondered what makes it so different from just a good biryani? Well, today we are pulling back the curtain and diving right into the heart of an authentic, restaurant-quality mutton dum biryani. We're going to unlock all those secrets together. So, what is it? What's that secret sauce? Is it the mutton that just melts in your mouth, or those perfectly separate, fluffy grains of rice? Maybe it's that incredible aroma that fills up the entire house. Well, you know what? It's all of that. And the answer really lies in a few key, often overlooked secrets that we're about to break down step by step. And that secret comes from this amazing Nilorayaz recipe. Now, to make this super easy to follow, we're going to treat it like a three-act play. Act 1, building the foundation. That's the mutton gravy. Act 2, perfecting the rice. And finally, the grand finale, the art of the dum. That's where the real magic happens.
Okay, so let's get into it. Act 1, the foundation. And let me tell you, this part is absolutely non-negotiable. This rich, aromatic, deeply flavorful mutton gravy isn't just a part of the dish, it is the very soul of the biryani. Everything, and I mean everything, we do from here on out builds on this amazing base.
First things first, just look at this incredible lineup of spices. This is not your standard, off-the-shelf garam masala, okay? We're talking whole spices, things like bold black cardamom, fragrant star anise, and even unique ones like kapak buds and mace flower, all ground fresh with coriander powder. This is your personal aromatic arsenal, and it's what's going to create that signature, unforgettable flavor. All right, next up are the flavor pastes. And you'll notice these aren't just suggestions, they're precise commands. We are creating 3 separate, super fresh pastes. You've got the intense punch from 40 garlic pods, that sharp, zesty heat from 100 grams of ginger, and then that tangy fire from the tomatoes and green chilies. This right here is where that deep, complex flavor really starts to build.
Okay, you're going to want to pay really close attention here because this is one of those secrets that changes everything. We are not just softening the onions. No. We are caramelizing them using a very specific 2-stage technique. You start with 2 minutes on a high flame, and then you drop it to a medium flame for a full 10 minutes. This whole process develops this deep, sweet, golden brown base that is just absolutely critical for the gravy. And this quote, it just says it all, doesn't it? Before a single drop of water even thinks about entering that pot, you're frying the mutton with all those spices, those fresh pastes, and those perfectly caramelized onions. In Indian cooking, this is called bunai. It's the process of sautéing to build these intense, incredible layers of flavor. You just can't rush the step. So you see, the really crucial part here is the sequence. It's not just what you add, it's when you add it. See how each ingredient goes in at a specific time? The mutton goes in, it gets a nice brown color, then the ginger paste. The curd comes in to thicken that base, and only then, right at the very end, does the water go in right before pressure cooking. It's all about building those layers.
So how do you know when this foundation is perfectly complete? Well, you listen. You're not looking for a timer, you're listening for this exact number, 6. 6 whistles from the pressure cooker. That is your audible signal that the mutton is perfectly tender and has soaked up every single drop of that incredible flavor we just spent all that time building. All right, our rich, flavorful gravy is resting, so now we move on to Act 2, the rice. And make no mistake, this is the second hero of our story. The rice isn't just some filler on the side, it's the perfect counterpart to that rich mutton, and trust me, it requires its own special technique to get it just right. Now, when you first see this, you might think it's a typo, 6 tablespoons of salt, but no, it's absolutely correct. Here's the secret. The rice is only going to be in this super salty water for a few minutes, so it won't absorb all of it, not even close. But it will absorb just enough to be perfectly seasoned from the inside out. You've got to trust the process on this one. This number right here might be the most important number in this entire recipe. 60%. Not 70, not 50, not 80. 60. The rice must be undercooked at this stage. I'm telling you, if you cook it any more than this, you're heading straight for a mushy, sticky biryani. 60% is the magic number. Remember it. So what does 60% cooked actually mean? Well, it means we're part cooking it. We're only partially cooking the rice in that boiling water. Why? Because the rest of the cooking, the final 40%, is going to happen during the dum, the final steam. That's where it'll soak up all that incredible flavor and steam from the mutton gravy waiting below. This is the absolute key to getting those perfectly fluffy, separate grains. And now,
It's time for the grand finale, Act 3, the dum. This is the last, almost sacred step in the process. It's this slow cooking technique where the rich mutton gravy and that perfectly par-cooked rice finally come together. It's where all those distinct flavors we so carefully built finally meld into one incredible, harmonious dish. Okay, before you do anything else, you do this. You turn the stove completely off. I'm going to pause for a second because this is so important. Trying to layer the biryani while the heat is still on is the #1 reason the bottom layer burns. So please, stove off. Then you can start to layer. The layering itself is really an art form. First, you put down a generous base of that incredible mutton and all of its luscious gravy. Then you gently, and I mean gently, spread the 60% cooked rice right over the top in a nice, even layer. And for the final touch, you drizzle it with that fragrant saffron water, which is what gives the biryani that iconic color and beautiful aroma. Now it's time to turn the stove back on for the final steam. And guess what? It's another 2-stage process. You start with 5 minutes on a high flame. The goal here is to quickly build up a ton of steam inside that sealed pot. Then you immediately drop the heat to the lowest possible setting for 15 minutes. This lets the rice gently steam and soak up all those gorgeous flavors without any risk of burning.
And that's it. The 3 acts are complete. The masterpiece is almost ready. So, to make this super easy for you to try in your own kitchen, we've put together a simple blueprint. Think of it as your final cheat sheet with all the most critical information you need to remember.
Honestly, this slide right here is your golden ticket. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, 1 kilo of mutton to 1 kilo of rice. Remember, 6 whistles for the meat. Cook the rice to 60%, no more. Fry those onions until they're a deep golden brown, and that total dum time is 20 minutes. 5 high, 15 low. If you can just lock in these core ratios and notes, you are so well on your way to making a perfect biryani every single time.
So there you have it. We've broken it all down, we've revealed the techniques, and we've handed you the complete blueprint. The secret to an authentic, absolutely unforgettable mutton dum biryani is now yours. So the only question left is, are you ready to go create your own masterpiece?